Imagine what it would be like to have this sound in your ear. Well, that's what it's like for people who have tinnitus, and as if that's not bad enough, research suggests more than half of those affected who seek advice from their GPs were unsatisfied with their response.
Well, today the British Tinnitus Association, which carried out the survey, has issued the first ever guidance for doctors on the condition, suggesting what practical help they can give to patients.
We're joined now by George Hillier, who has tinnitus, and David Stockdale, Chief Executive of the British Tinnitus Association. Welcome to you both.
Morning.
Is that what it sounds like to you?
No, mine's more of a ringing noise.
Is it?
So a piercing noise all the time.
And you've had it all your life?
No, I was in the army for 23 years. I worked on the back of, as an air dispatcher, I worked on the back of Hercules aircraft. So a lot of loud noise and vibration.
So this is it damage, do you think, to your eardrum? Is that what's caused it? Or?
I don't know. It's difficult because I don't think anybody understands that at the moment. But it did go away when I stopped flying. So I left the army in 2003. I had two major operations, 2009, 2010. And I started to notice it coming back on again. 2012 I went to see the doctor, went through several hearing tests, which actually found out that I wasn't deaf. I had 1% hearing loss, which didn't cause it. They referred me to an ENT specialist who again did a hearing test. So I came away with the offer of support, but nothing to do to
Can you relate to what we're hearing today, that over half of tinnitus patients are unsatisfied with their doctor's response? How did you feel when you went to see your GP?
I suppose it's lack of awareness. I went to a Tinnitus and Awareness Day in November last year, which the BTA put on, and that was really interesting to understand what it was all about and why it was caused and how many people suffered from it. And then I suppose the reality is that GPs could understand it better and understand it's not related to hearing loss.
I suppose the difficulty, David, is that you can't see it, can you? If you're a GP, it's not an expanding eardrum. It's not something that you can visibly see or point to. So it's difficult for, I would imagine, for GPs to diagnose. Is it?
It can be, yes. I mean, there's no objective test for tinnitus, so there's no way you can definitely identify someone as having it or someone from suffering with it. But what you can do is look at the impact it's having on someone's life and look at how to effectively manage that and ensure that that person can get that quality of life back afterwards as well, and make sure that they can manage the tinnitus effectively later. So although there's no way to manage it, it is an invisible
You would do that for
condition.
migraines, but you're saying they don't do it for people suffering from tinnitus?
Not so much, not according to our survey, no. Like you said, about half the people who we surveyed felt they were dissatisfied from what the GP said, and we don't want to start GP bashing or anything like that or anything of the sort. We want to support GPs to ensure that they have the right tools to effectively manage their patients better and give them the information and access to high quality information that will really help them in their journey onwards in getting over their tinnitus and getting to a stage where you can manage it.
Tell us about these guidelines. What are you recommending? What do you want GPs to do when somebody comes to them saying, I've got ringing noise in my ears?
So we want GPs to be understanding. We want them to understand what tinnitus is and how to help support that person manage it effectively. So whilst we know that the majority of people who see GPs receive a message of there's nothing you can do, you've just got to learn to live with it, and not given access to the information that's helped George manage his tinnitus, we really want to make sure that GPs give good information, that they help patients understand there are things that you can do to manage tinnitus effectively, and it's about getting access to that information quickly before it becomes an irretractable problem.
We've had a lot of people already saying that they suffer from this and getting in touch this morning. How do you deal and manage your problem? Is there things that can help and things that make it worse?
Well, if I'm busy, well, I'm stressed and tired, but generally if I'm busy doing things, I don't notice it. I'm actually suffering from it now, but when I'm concentrating on things, it doesn't bother me to the point that it starts to overtake. And so in social situations, I'll withdraw from a situation because I'll start to struggle to hear.
So it's quite an insular disease in that sense.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You sort of withdraw from society.
Yeah. And another way is to listen to loud music. So at the risk of losing my hearing, the only way I can drown it out is through music.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not something you can treat, I suppose. It's something that you just have to learn to live with.
There is no treatment for
ways.
it? Or I mean, as in you can't get rid of it?
There's no pill you can take, or there's no operation you can have to eradicate it, but there are management techniques available that can make the tinnitus lessen. So access to high quality information, understanding what tinnitus is and importantly what it isn't, makes a big difference.
Thank you both for joining us.
Let's wrap it there. We're out of time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.